Disruptive technologies. A technology is called disruptive if it creates a new groundbreaking product, a new market, a new value chain that displaces an existing one and creates new market leaders. Now, there is an interesting property of disruptive technologies. They are very hard to predict. And innovators, we've seen innovators, experts in the field failing, terribly failing to predict disruptive technologies. This will be a recurring theme in my talk. Now, if you look at the history of computer science, I'm a computer scientist, we can see major disruptive innovations somehow quite regularly, every 10 years or so. The first disruptive technology was the mainframe computer, the first functional, fully electronic computer. The computer looked like that. They were very big, very expensive. Big organizations purchased them, and they used to follow certain missions. The famous magazine Popular Mechanics in 1949 imagined the future that way, where a calculator like ENIAC is equipped today with 18,000 vacuum tubes and weighs 30 tons. Computer in the future may have only 1,000 vacuum tubes and perhaps weigh only 1.5 tons. That's the best we could think of. Of course, things went a lot faster. Computer got smaller and smaller. In the 70s, they could fit on one desk. In the 80s, they were cheap, so people could afford to buy them for personal use. Another innovator, Ken Olson, 77, president of the DEC company, the famous one, said there is no reason for any individual to have a computer in his home. Now, 80s computer was offline until the next disruptive technologies 10 years after, in the 90s, finally we had the internet that connects all of us and the web, the information space on top. Another innovator, Robert McCullough in 1995, the founder of the 3Com and the inventor of the Ethernet technology that we still use today in our local area networks, he said, I predict the internet will soon go spectacularly supernova, and in 1996, catastrophically collapse. In the 80s, still the PC, the computer, was our machine, and there was no reason for us to have more than one computer. Until the next disruptive event, again 10 years after, end of 90s, finally laptops, notebooks penetrated the market, and in the mid-2000s, smartphones and tablets. And now all of us has multiple devices at hand. So let's have some other predictions. Thomas Watson, chairman of IBM, 1943, I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers. Ironically, that's the number of a good estimation from the average number of devices an individual has today. Another study in the UK revealed that for the first time, smartphones surpassed laptops in internet usage. This telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. The device is inherently of no value to us. Western Union Internal Memo, 1876. Okay, so that's where we are right now, 10 years after this last disruptive technology. So it's getting dangerous. Yeah? What's going to happen? Computing is everywhere. All of us own a set of devices. And all of a sudden, we have a whole new set of questions. What am I going to do? I have so much information on each of these devices. Where do I store it? How do I share it? How do I synchronize it? How do I communicate it? What happens if one device crashes? And these devices do crash every 4 years or so. We have to renew them. And most importantly, I kind of miss the good old time where I just have the PC. It was so easy. I had to manage one machine. Now I have 10 of them. What am I going to do? I don't want to increase complexity. This is only one use case where clouds offer today a professional solution in form of cloud storage virtualization. So the basic idea is that instead of storing your data on each of these devices and then having problem how to communicate it across all of these, you build n-square connections across the devices, you delegate this responsibility to a professional, and that's called a cloud provider. And this cloud provider takes care of storing your data, securing your data, and so on. This solution already exists on the market, and you can benefit from it today. It's very simple. You have to do it in 3 steps. The first step is you go and you create an account with a cloud provider. Many of them offer you free service until a certain quota, like Dropbox, Google for Google Drive, or Microsoft for OneCloud, and so on. Then, very important, you download and install on each of these heterogeneous devices that you have a small piece of application. That's a new term in computer science. We just discussed in the break. That's called an app. An app, yeah? And then you use this app, the same interface on all these devices, to connect to the cloud, another important feature, using one single connection per device. It means no matter how many devices you have one connection, one constant complexity for every single device. And you get to the cloud the responsibility of synchronizing your data, communicating your data, and securing it. Okay, so let's now summarize the advantages that such cloud computing solutions offer you. Unlimited resources, in quotes, yeah. You basically offload all the resource consumption to the cloud, yeah, and you keep your local devices nice and clean, very thin. Important for smartphones. Anytime, anywhere access. You are in your office, on the road, you access through the app, the cloud, your data, your resources. A new thing is pay-per-use. Pay-per-use means it's a kind of you start small, aim high. You don't buy the house from the beginning. Yeah? You rent resources instead of buying them. And only when you are grown enough, you buy the big house. It's important, of course, for startups. It's also important, I will give later on example, for application with fluctuating load. Yeah? Sometimes you don't know how much you need. Disruptive technologies, you can't predict them. Yeah? So somehow you have to start and grow with your success. No maintenance and no operational cost. You don't want to be an IT specialist. The cloud provider does that for you. No hardware depreciations. Yeah? The worst investment today is to buy a computer because the price really drops. The latest generation are very expensive, but the price really drops fast after some months. You get reliability. So if your local device breaks, you still have your data secured in the cloud. And of course, you have security and privacy. So the cloud provider offers you protection against attack, against viruses, and so on. Of course, there must be some level of trust between you and the cloud, which is signed in the agreement when you open the account. Good. There are many cloud providers, yeah, on the market today. The undisputed leader is Amazon. Amazon offers a cloud infrastructure as large as the next 14 on the list and generates revenues 10 times larger than the second on the list, which is no other than Microsoft. $8 billion last year. So where do we know Amazon from? Do you know Amazon? Bookstore, excellent. It started as a bookstore and it evolved to where it is right now by exploiting a disruptive technology, and that's not the cloud computing. Which is the one?
Internet.
No. Electronic commerce. Online shopping. Yeah, e-commerce. E-commerce is a disruptive technology, and the Time magazine in 1966 said, remote shopping, while entirely feasible, will flop because women like to get out of the house, like to handle merchandise, and like to be able to change their mind. Too many men in this room, yeah, shopping on Amazon electronics. Okay, so I hope I gave you a short introduction of what cloud is all about. I will give you another use case of hosting computation instead of storage. So clouds can be used for virtualizing complete machines. And a case study would be to host an application that has a periodic bursting workload. Bursting means that it quickly increases in load over a short period of time, and this can be periodic. Typical applications are web applications. Sometimes they have peak usage, Brexit, yeah, everybody served websites and no one worked. Or during holiday or night, there are off-peak hours that when no one really serves on the internet. Now assume that you are a company that develops such an application and you want to host it, to operate it. You have the dilemma, that's my usage, how many resources shall I purchase? The first answer would be, okay, I check how much I need in average, and I purchase that, so the red line. It's good because your utilization is good. The problem here is that during peak hours, so above the red line, you will be congested, yeah? So the user who sits above the line will get an unresponsive service. They click and they wait, yeah? So you can say, okay, I invest more, yeah? So you buy that much. You over-provision, we say. So you buy more resources that you need. During off-peak hours, most of the infrastructure will be not used. In fact, research and practice shows that this utilization in this case can be as low as 40% and below. So in average, more than half of your infrastructure will not be used. Well invested. So there is now the cloud model of provisioning resources, and this is based on elastically following the demand and provisioning resources on demand based on the actual requirements of the application. We've done also research in these aspects, and this can decrease your utilization by a factor of 5 and even more, while increasing your utilization to 80, 90% and above. Okay, let's look into the future. So one question remains to be answered. Yeah, are clouds disruptive? Some people are disruptive and they are very creative, have lots of innovations. But like in every story, there is always a bad guy, a troublemaker. So there is a dark side of the cloud. Cloud computing aggregates an enormous amount of resources. And these resources stored in data center consume energy, a lot of energy. There have been studies that show that data centers consume as much as 3% of the global energy supply. And this trend, predictions now, will triple in the next decade. So we will consume even more to operate our cloud. A second study shows that the greenhouse gas emissions of the data center are approximately 2% of the total greenhouse gas emissions worldwide. And the trend, again, is to increase to 16%. A third study in Nature shows that if the greenhouse gas emissions continue as they do right now, by 2047, the Earth will reach record temperatures with potentially very harmful effects on biodiversity, ecosystems, livelihood of people. So, if these predictions are right, and the clouds are not disruptive, the innovation may not be environmentally sustainable. Yeah? So I believe that cloud computing, and that's my message for today, can be a disruptive technology, but only in combination with green ways of producing energy, with renewable energy sources, clean energy sources, in addition with very modern topics now in research, energy-efficient computer architecture design and manufacturing, and energy-efficient data center operation, of course, where cloud computing plays an important role. So, who is this guy now? This guy is my son, teenager. He's a rocker. He plays in a black metal band called Angaroth, also something related with Lord of the Rings. And basically, he's a Satanist and would like to see the doomsday, yeah? But that's, again, a disruptive event, so I have to disappoint you. 2047 will not going to happen. Doomsday is disruptive and it's unpredictable, yeah? So, okay, let's go back to our topic. He's a cloud user. He's using the cloud in 3 ways. Facebook, yeah, he promotes his band on social media. YouTube, he plays his guitar, he shows his bass playing guitar skills on YouTube with other friends. And finally, he's using a platform called SoundCloud to share his original music that he creates. So SoundCloud is a cloud platform that reached today a success of about 170 million people that upload and share sound in a social way. So SoundCloud, the statistic of SoundCloud showed that more than 12 hours of sound get uploaded every minute. So it's far more sound uploaded than we can possibly hear to. So that's what cloud contributes to the musicians for interacting with each other. Rock and roll was a disruptive trend, in music, confirmed by the Variety magazine in 1955. Will be gone by June. Okay, and I don't want my younger child to get jealous, so that's for him. He's a YouTuber, truly YouTuber. What is he doing? He has his own YouTube channel. He's operating his YouTube channel. And the idea is very simple. He socializes with friends by uploading videos, unlimited in number, unlimited in size. Unlimited power on uploading videos on YouTube. YouTube, the platform, has reached over 1 billion of users today. That's almost a third of the entire internet users. And hundreds of thousands of hours of videos are being watched today on YouTube. So in a way, YouTube is the new form of television. It's reaching more audience than any cable television worldwide. Television, which of course is old and disruptive anyway, Daryl Zanuck, the movie producer of the 20th Century Fox in 1946 said, television won't last because people will soon get tired of staring at the plywood box every night. Sadly, but not true. Thank you.